I moved to London 2 weeks ago and I still had to work. I had like 4 or 5 sales calls lined up and this was the best one you're going to see. Just quickly, it's recorded on Discord because I actually didn't record it. So the people in my Discord were actually, watching in on my sales call, and I was lucky enough for somebody to record it for me. So you're not actually going to see the guys talk, but you're going to hear them talk, and you're going to see my screen. You're going to see me in like a small little corner, and then eventually someone maximizes me, so it's just my face talking, so you guys can kind of understand a little bit more. It was a soft close after the call. I sent the contract out. After it was sent, a couple of days went by, closed them there on the spot. So, it's 5.5 grand, the contract, bare minimum. I changed my offer around. Very different to my last previous sales calls. I was still very premature. I think I just jumped into the deep end and went in with it at the beginning, but now I'm very seasoned and I understand, what works for me, what works best, my offer, not copying anybody. I don't even use a presentation anymore. The sales call was just basically chit chat for 30 minutes. I'm not actually sure how long it was. I'll have to double check, but I think it was like over a 25-minute conversation. So 2 gentlemen were in the call with me, something a little bit different in the niche that I'm in. Still very cosmetic and a non-invasive type treatments, but a little bit different to what normally, the norm is seen by, Thomas Garnett and all those med spas. So yeah, watch this video and tell me how it goes. I think it was one of my best ones. 100% knew what I was talking about, the way I was talking, how I was talking, the objections that were coming past. Everything was good, everything was smooth, and I didn't want to make this video until I actually knew they signed. So got to sign, close this deal. It's not really a full close on the call, but you'll see that these guys are very intrigued and they trust that I can help them. Stay tuned.
Hi guys. I'm not too sure how much you've been informed by my associate. He kind of handed over an offer to you guys and mentioned not too much in-depth detail, but he did say something about bringing you a minimum of 10 extra appointments in your calendar every month. Does that sound like something that you remember?
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, I'd just like to know. Awesome. Quick, before I even ask, how many people do you bring in for specifically certain treatments? I know you guys primarily do non-invasive body sculpting. So what kind of numbers would you bring in on a monthly basis?
I mean, we're trying to bring approximately also 15 to 20 patients a month.
Okay. Not too bad. And how on average, I'm sure January is one of the better months, and would be one of your poorer months.
Say it again?
Would January be a strong month for you going so far, or would it be?
We were out of town for a couple of weeks before the New Year's and after New Year's, so we just sort of starting back on track.
Okay, and how often are you guys pushing advertisements, or is it just mainly word of mouth?
When we started this, we were doing a lot of Instagram posts, Facebooks, and all kind of different websites outreach. Right now, we haven't been doing it that much. It works on its own in a way. But we're talking about some pricing decrease just to see if we can increase the volume. We're really good in terms of doing the procedures, and we see good outcomes. So we really confirmed that the procedure works, and it's simple. It doesn't require any downtime. It's not painful. We want the volume to increase.
Got you. Okay. And you think changing the price would be more of a inclination for people to come in?
I think we just need to be competitive, and I think the prices have to be attractive. We can't go beyond a certain point because we're advertising and patients bringing in. We can set up certain price ranges that will be below the market, let's put it this way, but still profitable.
Just to quickly ask, Alexander, what price ranges are you currently and trying to drop down to?
I mean, there are different parts of the system that we have has multiple different parts. One of them is the face, which also has 3 components: upper, mid, low, and full face. So that's 4 parts. Then we also have cellulite. We have special probes that allows us to take cellulites from the arms, legs, etc. Then we have a specific pads that it's very simple. It's almost like a ground pad you put on the belly. It's a different size. And it really decreases that, fat belly look. It tightens up your belly. So every segment of this treatment has its own price tag to it. We also have vaginal treatments for women to rejuvenate the vagina, and that's another thing that's called Italian. So this machine that we have has very multi-dimensional things. So we wanted to, working right now with our clients, just to revise the list of everything. For example, we used to charge for the face close to $1,200 to $1,500 full face.
Wow.
Which is not that bad. I mean,
how many sessions? Quickly?
What?
How many sessions quickly was it for that face? Like that's the 15 to 2,000.
It's 3 sessions. Each session would be approximately $1,000. I mean, it depends. If the patient would have bought 3 sessions together right away, would have given a discount for $3,000 for 3 sessions of full face.
Okay.
If you buy just one session, it was $1,200. And if we wanted to give discount at $800, but we're talking about like an hour treatment. We're talking about upper face, mid face, and low face on each side. So that's a lot.
Yes.
And each individual procedures were broken to like $400, $450. So we have a price list. But right now we're thinking about going pretty deeply down. We wanted to do, let's say, full face for like $500.
How much profit do you think you'll still make by going that low? Would it even be worth doing?
Look, if we'll do $500 a face, let's say, we have a technician, we have probe, right? We have grounding pads. So I would say out of this 500, probably 150 will go towards the cost of the actual treatment.
Okay.
Then we have $350 leftovers. And then if you will be involved with us, you will get a percentage of that as well.
Of course, of course. I actually, if I'm being honest, because I've worked with a lot of places in the UK, Ireland, a couple in the US, they always mention that dropping the price might bring more revenue, but I think just making the offer more favorable could actually increase ROI. And if that doesn't work, then maybe we could talk about something in the next month. Okay, let's do something in terms of dropping the price down. How are you, how much are you willing to, make an offer around where it's not too much of a drop, but you're adding more to the offer? You mentioned that you have vaginal stuff. You can kind of do facial stuff with conviction.
We have vaginal rejuvenation, which we tried on many patients. We have right now close to 30 patients that we've done. Everybody was super happy. It restores vaginal circulation.
Mm-hmm.
Their sensitivity is better, and it also helps a little bit with somebody who has slight incontinence in women. So we usually charge $3,000 for 3 treatments, but I think we can I would like to drop it down to maybe $700 a treatment.
Wow.
And I think it still gives us a pretty healthy problem. I think it would be fair and more interesting for a lot of women in this economy right now. To pay $3,000 is a little tough.
Definitely, because
and it as much as some subsection of population don't care because they have money, but a lot of average consumers having difficulties paying $3,000 cash. So I'm willing to even do $500 a treatment, so it's a total of $1,500. But it's a really good procedure and it's fairly easy to do. It's a 15-minute cycles. So if we can get patients with this, like $1,500 up front for 3 treatments, I think it will still give us a healthy profit.
Okay, and of course it's.
You asked about combining. Instead of dropping the price, that's what it.
I mean, we can work with you with this. Yeah, since you know marketing better than us, we can provide you with a procedure list and the prices that we're thinking, and you can advise us if you think we can change not on the pricing itself, but adding a number of treatments, let's say, or adding something to that treatment. Let's say we do vaginal thing plus we do upper face or something like that.
Correct, because the way I look at it is if you lower the price and a year down the line where business is going good and then you decide to pump the price back up, then I could see a lot more problems happening. Whereas if you make it a deal as in face, stomach together and it's the same price, then people will be more favored to buy on that. And then a year down the line, you can tell them, hey, look, we have a new offer. But at the moment, it's actually still the same price. It just happened to be the same price for 2 at that point. So if
We
you,
can work with you on this to see if we create packages. Let's
course.
call it packages
yeah,
that has more inclusive procedures, more benefits for the same money with the volume of procedures, and keep the price sort of in the middle range. Let's put it this way. Don't go beyond the red line. Let's put it this way.
I hear you. I hear you. Quick question on the vaginal treatment. It's not invasive, right?
No,
Okay. Wow. And how quick is the procedure? Just curious.
15 minutes.
Wow. Awesome. So you turning them on. Another question. Can they be upselled like yearly, or is it like a one-time thing? You're done. You
No,
know.
we can repeat it as many times as we want. We usually do 3 treatments with approximately 2-3 weeks of a distance between them.
Okay.
When we finish this cycle, if they really like it, but they want to repeat this next year, they can do the same.
Okay. So they can come in next year and still the same, results, even better from before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome.
No needles, nothing. It's all about
Great.
None of these procedures are invasive. The machine, I mean, is very, very sophisticated. It reads the temperatures, it validates the treatment, so it's not just little things. It's actually quite medically savvy.
Great. And you two gentlemen have mentioned, you've done Instagram, you've tried. Are you taking care of that yourself, or is it no, you're outsourced to someone else like to take care of that?
Yeah.
So the marketing that you gentlemen both do already.
We've had a company that was doing it for us. We're no longer with them. And we ourselves were taking videos and pictures for the Instagrams. We have our own secretary posting it, but we did not have a professional person running the Instagram or any TikTok or any other things that's usually used by younger consumers.
Okay, and you mentioned the marketing agency that you worked with previously. How come you're not working with them still?
We felt that they were not really, how to say, they were not creative enough. They were not really putting a lot of things on the plate. And in the end, we were just doing most of the work anyhow. So it didn't pan out. But, obviously we don't want to do it ourselves.
I understand completely. And let me just touch on
We're both fully certified and fully functioning surgeons. So it's not that this is our only thing. We're big time surgeons with doing big reconstructions and major surgeries. So we don't have a lot of extra time for this. It's sort of like a little add to our practice, which we're enjoying. But if we can boost it up and it runs by itself, let's put it this way, that would be our preference.
I totally agree, and this is why I think where I come in would, I'm not trying to work with you guys for 1 month and kind of like feel it out. I'm trying to like create a long-term partnership and see where we can work on things that are weak and also enhance things that are stronger. So I definitely think, if we were to touch base and think of a bundle, I'm sure we can't just come up with something right now, but where we could come up with I like the idea of a bundle of like putting one thing in and then saying, hey, you do this, you get this one also free in the next coming months. Perhaps, the vaginal treatment, you said there was 2 to 3 months in between each session. Then, they can come back and say, hey, look, I'd like to take up on the facial offer, because you said you could have dropped it down to $500 and still make a profit. So I think putting two together would really work. And creativity wise, I don't think it's as necessary to be as creative. I think it's as important to be persistent with the leads that are coming in, because I'm sure you get a lot of time wasters, a lot of people saying, I want to cancel, or, you people come in for consultations. I'm sure you get it all the time, right?
All the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And we try to eliminate that as much as possible.
Also, we notice one last question. We notice when we getting leads from Instagram and stuff, a lot of these are just really fake responses from like a commercial, either companies or somebody who is in marketing. The actual patients' engagements are pretty small.
I totally understand. So this is where, I could give you a full breakdown after, if you guys are willing to sign a contract of how, they'll come in from your location. We can get through to that. There's a lot more that needs to be mentioned in detail. Of course, but I don't see why you couldn't upsell something. You mentioned how much, like the price for one of the vaginal treatments for the 3 treatments. It's $3,000,
Drop it to $1,500 easily.
but it's currently at three.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're getting people paying for that at currently. I'm guessing.
Yeah, but very small amount.
Okay, and see, this is the thing. We're not going to find like the perfect recipe. It has to be A/B tested over a couple months' time. I'm pretty sure that we can bring you in at least 10 people, whichever one that we'd determine that we agree on. But it's not going to be okay. This is how it's going to happen. We still have to test until we figure out what works best. And I feel like that's something you guys haven't done yet.
Sure. I'm happy to engage into this. Go ahead, Sergey.
Can you tell a little bit about yourself? Who do you represent? What's your business model?
Of course. Well, I actually own the company. It's T4 Scaling. It's a startup. It's about 6 months old, but we actually work with non-invasive companies at the moment. We focus a lot of outbound work at the moment. So, and there's not much internally that we have. We have a lot of testimonials. I'll be happy to share with them to you. I'll even get the clients that we have on the phone to you guys to really let you know. They all work in body sculpting, non-invasive treatments, just like yourselves. Nothing vaginal though. That's something new. But it's exact same thing. So I'd love to try something new. I also work with one doctor in Turkey, invasive, rhinoplasty, hair transplant. So that's also, we do touch base on that. And I have a medical background myself. I'm actually a dropout. I dropped out of medical school 1 year into my PhD. So I took a big career shift, and started my own company with marketing for non-invasive surgeries, typically laser, body sculpting, microneedling, dermaplaning.
You're running a website.
I actually don't do any advertising at all. I actually hire people to outreach people just like you guys so they can get on the phone with me, because at the moment I'm not really interested in putting money into advertising myself, because I'm finding a lot of ROI in outreaching people who are willing to work with me, because I know I can help them.
You have someone else who is engaging people, and you and show them to the centers their location, their approach.
Okay, so how like the full pipeline it would work. So the guys that reached out to you got you onto me, and then I would take care of the media in terms of the Facebook and Instagram ads that we would run. I'd love to go more in detail on onboarding, but just give you a broad idea. And we'd set up the ads. We'd set up the ads. We'd write the copywriting for the ad to draw the people into our leads. Look, I can even get up a little presentation for you guys, so I can kind of give you more sustenance of what I'm talking about, if you guys don't mind bearing with me for 2 seconds. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. I'm not too sure if you'll be able to see Sergey if you're on your phone. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Fire screen. Okay. Can you gentlemen see what I'm seeing? Okay, let me make this bigger. I literally only need to show you one slide. Okay. And this is completely unnecessary. Okay. So this is ultimately the breakdown of everything that will need to happen. So this is it, okay? So we'd set up an ad for you. There'd be a lead form on the ad. Then we'd have a booking page, but instead of a booking page, we'd have our relentless appointment setters ensure that we're reaching every lead that applies to your ad, because we know we get likes, you get comments, and then that's as far as it goes with those guys. But we make sure anyone who shows even the slight bit of interest in the offer that we display on that Facebook ad, we make sure we get in touch with them and get a yes, a no, or a please don't message me ever again. Then we call them. We make sure they paid a deposit for that treatment that they're going to come in for, to ensure they're not wasting your time and that time slot that you allocate for them. And then the only thing that you manage is the in-clinic appointments that we manage for you, that we bring to you.
Okay.
And so let me just give you another kind of idea.
Deposit.
Yes. Look, even you still get cancellations when people pay the deposits, I can assure you. But let me stop screen sharing here so we're not triplicate. But I'm sure you guys have some form of refund policy.
Okay, now, I mean, I understand all of that. It sounds exciting, but we need to go down to the details. So,
Of course.
well, let's set up, because I have to go. Let's set up. I'm gonna leave both you to decide when we're gonna meet next time, or what documents you want to send to us. Whatever next steps you think we need to do, I'm certainly willing to explore it. So,
of course.
and Sergey is much more technical than I am, so I'm gonna let him.
So just let me speak to both of you gentlemen, just so I know you probably want to go. We can talk. I'll send you over a contract, give you the full itinerary of the offer in hand. But let me give a little bit of an idea of what it would be right now. So we would offer to bring you minimum 10 patients a month. Minimum 10. If we don't bring you 10, you don't pay us. So if we bring you 9, you don't even have to pay. There's no down payment. However, we do keep the deposit that we secure to get those appointments for you. And also we have a service fee of $2,500 a month at the end.
You mean if you bring patients?
$2,500. If we bring you 9, you don't pay us at all. So you just got 9 free clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I also mentioned about the deposit. We take a percentage of the deposit, or they put the deposit down. Let's just say it's a $3,000 deal, and you require a 10% deposit. We would also be inclined to take down a 10% as well. So it would be $300 per person, just so we have enough to actually accommodate for the service that we're providing, but also bringing you 90% of that investment to you.
Okay, send it to us so we can look at it. I got it.
Of course.
It would be better for us to see it on paper.
Of course.
So we can analyze. We may have some questions for you.
Please send them over.
So let's send us your framework. We'll look into this, and then we'll set up a follow-up call with you. Okay?
Sounds great, Alexander. And I will definitely.
Thank you.
Do you have a personal phone number that I can grab by any chance? I can WhatsApp you.
Dr. Elias.
Yeah, you can call me on the.
Yes, perhaps I can make a group. I would love to stay in touch just by phone. If you guys have a WhatsApp, that would be best.
WhatsApp is fine.
Yeah.
Dr. Elias, the phone. I'm going to go because I have the next appointment. But Dr. Elias will be with you. Okay.
Pleasure talking to you, Dr. Elias.
Okay.
Alexander.
You send me your WhatsApp. I will reply to this with our. Okay.
Yes.
You have my email over there.
I have I think we were talking on Instagram, correct?
You know, I'm back on. Yeah, we can go on Instagram.
How about what's your number now? I have my phone ready to dial in if I can give you. Got it. Okay. I actually just relocated to London, but I work all hours, so you won't have a problem getting in contact with me.
Okay. So that's you can. Yeah, I will send you the Alex information.
Sounds great. We'll stay in touch, Sergey, and it was a pleasure for you guys to take your time out of your day to talk to me. No problem. You too. Bye.